Are you creative? More importantly, do you believe that some people are naturally creative while others just aren't? A new book, The Myths of Creativity, explores that and how innovative companies and people generate great ideas. Here to tell us more is the author, David Burkus. David, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you guys so much for having me.
I felt better about myself because I've never had a eureka moment. And your book basically says the eureka moment doesn't exist.
Well, yeah, as far as eureka from the idea coming from somewhere else, you know, we use phrases like the idea just came to me. Where was it before? Right? The truth is that it's all inside of your brain, and sometimes there are periods where you have to take a break in order to get at the real insight. But that doesn't mean there's not a lot of work beforehand or afterwards to get that idea to come out. It's not a matter of waiting for these giant eureka moments. You can force them.
Can you be born with creativity?
So nature has not really proven itself versus nurture. There's a lot of people who think that there are certain creative breeds. We've looked into personality research. We've looked into genetics. There's no creativity gene. So.
What about an original creative thought? You actually say there is no such thing as original creative thoughts.
That's true to some extent. So creative ideas, any idea is really a combination of pre-existing ideas. So Henry Ford didn't invent the automobile, didn't actually invent the assembly line. He saw that somewhere else, saw the automobile somewhere else, combined them, and that's what created the Model T, and that's what generated the revolution, right? So it's not just a matter of coming up with wholly original ideas. It's about combining things, and the beauty is anybody can do that.
Right. But I mean, it's obviously creativity is something every company wants. How do you incentivize it?
So incentives are really difficult when it comes to creativity. Incentives, I teach business, and in management, you incentivize all sorts of stuff. And when the path is clear-cut, incentives can work really well. But when you don't know, it's a whole lot harder. And the research actually says that rather than an if-then motivator, if you come up with an idea, we'll give you a bonus, it's better to do something that's more of an award afterwards. Something like, actually, in the nonprofit world, the MacArthur Fellows Foundation does a great job of saying, you're doing amazing creative work, and we're going to reward you and say, do more of it.
Everyone who hates the brainstorming sessions at work is going to be thankful to hear that you say sometimes these brainstorming sessions are not the best way to come up with creative ideas.
Yeah, so brainstorming, it works. It's a great way to generate a lot of ideas. The challenge is you're not done yet. You can't just get a bunch of people in a room, hand somebody a marker, and say, write down a bunch of ideas and circle the best one. Right. Ideas need to combine. They need to blend. They need time to be tested, and then we learn lessons from the ones that fail and the ones that succeed. We combine all of that stuff, and then we have the really, really great idea.
Is there one sort of creativity myth that most companies subscribe to that's actually not, that's just wrong?
So the biggest thing I see is what I call the mousetrap myth, from the standpoint of if you build a better mousetrap, the world will beat a path to your door.
Right.
The truth is, we think we're great at recognizing creative ideas, but we're not actually all that good at it. We have a hidden bias against new ideas because they're different from the status quo. And that makes it a whole lot harder to recognize their genius. So most companies do that.
David Burkus, thank you so much. Maybe we're more creative than we thought.
Yeah, I hope so.